Welcome to The Biggest Cooking Lie You Believe, where we debunk some of the most common cooking myths that may be holding you back in the kitchen. From the supposed benefits of searing meat to the real influence of salt in your pasta water, we'll challenge everything you think you know about cooking techniques and ingredients. Join us as we explore misconceptions about olive oil, rice preparation, and even the nutrient loss in microwaved food. It's time to unravel these culinary myths and elevate your cooking game. 1. The myth of searing meat to lock in juices. Many of us have been taught that searing meat seals in the juices, making it more succulent. This is a widespread belief, but it's not entirely true. Searing does create a flavorful crust due to the Maillard reaction, which enhances the taste, but it doesn't prevent moisture from escaping. In fact, the process of searing can cause some juices to escape. Alton Brown, a well-known food expert, has debunked this myth numerous times. The real secret to juicy meat lies in cooking it to the right internal temperature and letting it rest after cooking. So, while searing adds flavor, it's not the magical juice-locking technique many believe it to be. 2. Salt in pasta water. The amount matters. We've all heard that adding salt to pasta water is essential, but the truth about how much salt to use often gets lost. The common advice is to make the water as salty as the sea, but this can lead to extremely salty pasta. Instead, a more practical approach is to add about 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of salt per gallon of water. This amount enhances the pasta's flavor without overwhelming it. Remember, you can always add more salt to the sauce later, but oversalting the pasta water is irreversible. It's a delicate balance that can make or break a dish. 3. Olive oil and its smoke point misunderstanding. Olive oil is revered for its health benefits and flavor, yet there's confusion about its use in cooking, especially concerning its smoke point. Many people believe that olive oil should never be used for high-heat cooking due to a low smoke point. However, extra virgin olive oil has a smoke point of about 375 degrees Fahrenheit to 420 degrees Fahrenheit, making it suitable for most cooking methods, including sautéing and roasting. While it's true that olive oil can lose some of its delicate flavors when heated, it's still a versatile cooking oil. The key is to understand the type of olive oil you're using and its appropriate application. 4. Stirring rice. A recipe for disaster? Cooking perfect rice often feels like a mystical art, and one of the most popular rules is to avoid stirring rice while it cooks. The belief is that stirring will release starches and make the rice sticky. While this is partially true, the reality is a bit more nuanced. Stirring rice is essential at the beginning to prevent it from sticking to the pot. However, once it starts boiling, it's best to leave it alone. The real secret to non-sticky rice lies in rinsing it thoroughly before cooking to remove excess starch. So, a little stirring initially is actually beneficial. 5. Microwaving destroys nutrients. Fact or fiction? Microwaves often get a bad rap, with many believing that they destroy the nutrients in food. This is a misconception. In fact, microwaving can preserve nutrients better than some other cooking methods like boiling. The key is the shorter cooking time and minimal water use. For instance, steaming vegetables in the microwave retains more vitamins compared to boiling them in water. The real challenge is avoiding overcooking, which can happen quickly in a microwave. When used correctly, microwaving is an efficient and healthy cooking method. 6. The overrated importance of fresh eggs for boiling. When it comes to boiling eggs, many people insist on using only the freshest eggs available. However, this isn't the best practice. Fresh eggs are more difficult to peel due to the lower pH of the albumin, which causes it to adhere to the shell membrane. Aging eggs for a week or two allows the pH to rise, making them easier to peel after boiling. This is why slightly older eggs are preferred for hard boiling. The next time you plan to make deviled eggs, consider using eggs that have been in your fridge for a bit longer. 7. Cold water for boiling. A misguided habit. A common practice in cooking is starting with cold water when boiling foods like potatoes or eggs. The belief is that this ensures even cooking. While this is true for some ingredients, it's not a one-size-fits-all rule. For instance, when blanching vegetables, starting with hot water is more effective in preserving color and nutrients. Moreover, starting with hot water is energy efficient and reduces cooking time. Understanding the nature of the ingredient you're cooking will help you decide whether to start with hot or cold water. 8. The misconception of resting pizza dough. Pizza enthusiasts often stress the importance of letting dough rest, but the reasons behind this practice can be misunderstood. While resting dough is crucial, it's not just about allowing the gluten to relax. The real magic happens during fermentation, as it develops flavor and texture. A longer fermentation period at a cooler temperature enhances the dough's complexity. So, while resting is essential, planning ahead for a longer fermentation time can elevate your homemade pizza from good to outstanding. 9. Butter versus margarine. The health debate. The debate between butter and margarine has been ongoing for decades, with many believing margarine to be the healthier option due to its lower saturated fat content. However, this isn't the whole story. Margarine often contains trans fats, which are more harmful than saturated fats. Recent studies suggest that butter, in moderation, can be part of a healthy diet. The key is to focus on the quality of the fat rather than the quantity. Understanding the differences in butter and margarine can help you make more informed dietary choices. 10. Cooking with red wine. Only for the rich? Many believe that cooking with red wine is a luxury reserved for gourmet chefs or those with deep pockets. This is far from the truth. Affordable wines can be just as effective in enhancing the flavor of a dish. The alcohol in wine helps to release flavors in food that wouldn't be soluble in water, adding complexity and depth. It's not about the price tag but the balance of flavors that wine can bring to a dish. Don't shy away from using wine in your cooking. It's an accessible way to elevate everyday meals.